Hey, greetings from the Pacific Northwest Bow here. Got some final finds. It's been a while. I said I probably wouldn't back till we had a record show, but well, I lied. Quite frankly, I lied. I have an addiction, much like most of you that are watching this. You can't help it sometimes. You just got to go out there and dig through stuff, see what you can find. You know, actually in this video we're gonna run the gamut. There's thrift store finds. There's some record store finds. There's some Discog buys. Yes, I bought off Discogs. Not proud of it, but I'm completely proud of it. And and I went to a rival record store just down the street from the place I normally go. I didn't buy much. I just bought a couple things there. Anyhow, I've gone on long enough. Let me give a VC cheers, because we all love the VC cheer. I know a lot of you guys do it with beer or alcohol, but it's in the Pacific Northwest. This is coffee country, and that's what I have is coffee. And none of that wimpy Starbucks stuff either. This is drip. This is number 5 dark. Not wimpy coffee out here in the Northwest. Anyhow, enough. We'll start with some Discogs buys. First of all, we've got the beautiful South. Some of you guys are like, I don't know who that is. Okay, I have to be honest with you, I didn't either. When I met my wife, when I was finishing up my my Army career, which is an enlistment, 1 enlistment, 2 enlistments. Did I do 2? I don't remember. I was in there for a while. Anyhow, so this is a band she was really into. They were born out of a band called the House Martins. It was Petey Heaton and Dave Hemingway, I think, had been in the House Martins. Had some stuff in the 80s. This is late 80s, early 90s kind of stuff. And they had a female. They've had different females throughout the years, but on the first 2 albums, Brianna Corrigan, I believe is her name. She's from Ireland. These guys are kind of like if Frank Zappa and the Mothers had been some sort of a new wave band. It's the best way I could word it here. These guys, it's really pretty music, but the lyrics are ironic and biting and dark. You know, it's kind of weird. So here are these happy little songs, and then and like for example on here, a song for whoever. It's just basically, hey, I wrote this song for you, and he lists all these different women's names, and because there's been so many of them over the years. I'll Sail the Ship Alone. You Keep It All In, which is about murder and robbery. Woman in the Wall, which is like that old horror story about the guy who with Vincent Price, walls up his wife. It's kind of like, look, she's It's kind of weird stuff, but it's really cool. So I got these for my wife. I got them off Discogs. This one too. That's the first record. This is the second record from the beautiful South. This is Choke, and this has Let Love Speak Up Itself. And what was the one that? See, I remember because my wife played these cassettes in the car all the time. I kind of got to like them too. So I got them for as much for me as I got them for her. But it's really her, really a band that she really likes. There was a reason I got this one, because it was one of her favorite songs was on here. I'm not singing it. Let's see. Let Love Speak Up Itself. Oh, A Little Time. The video for YouTube got blocked, but it's a pretty funny video if you can find it. Check it out. A Little Time. Anyhow, beautiful South. And this one I got definitely for me. I'd done some checking, Rainy Day and some other places. Inquired about this. Man, we never see Nina Simone records here, so I actually went out and just got the copy of this. This is Nina Simone's Broadway Blues Ballads. It's on the Phillips label. Now, I gave the guy good feedback, and I have no problem. So if he's out there watching, don't take it personally. I'm not even going to mention your name because A, I don't remember it. Just don't. Because it was described as VG or VG plus, so and it was on the cheaper side. This isn't a cheap album, so I took my chances. But boy, this thing is noisy. Now, so I looked at it and I thought, well, maybe if I took it to Rainy Day and they cleaned it up, maybe it would play better. And I did. And Adam looked at it. He's got a light that they look under that, and he's like, "This thing is it's clean, perfectly clean. It's got a zillion and a half paper scuffs on it. It's just going to be a noisy record, and unfortunately it is. But mostly I got this because it's got, you know, the Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood. It's the Animals later covered. This is a really cool record. I'm still glad to have it. But, you know, and this is the first, you know, hey, it's not that guy's fault. I took a chance because anything I bought in the past off Discogs had always been underdescribed as far as I was concerned. People would say, oh, it's VG. So I'm like, oh, that's a rare psych record. I'll take a chance on it. And I get it, and it would be VG plus or even better than that. And I'm like, you said this was VG. Well, I didn't want to. I don't ever want to get bad feedback. So I just took a chance. It bit me this time. That's all right. Lesson learned. Now this one I got at a thrift store for $30. A thrift store that's near my house sells records $3 for $1. I almost never buy stuff there. At least it's been years. You guys know how it is in the thrift stores now. It's there's a zillion people in there digging. You just don't find stuff anymore. There's just not the quality. There's not the quantity. Anyhow, it's kind of a, you know, this was studio musicians, the Firebirds. So I don't believe they were a real group. They cover Light My Fire on here. This is on the Crown label. And there's another. I took this in to get clean to see if it would help out. It helped out a little bit. This thing's pretty rough, but it's 34 cents. You know, what do you expect? And I was told too that the Crown. Adam at Rainy Day told me that they're some really poor pressings anyhow. They were cheap records to begin with, but as Chris would say, va 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 boom. Hello, Chris. Hey, while I'm here, let me get another sip of coffee. And I'm going to screw this up. I should have done more. I don't research things well, and then I think, oh, I'll remember it. I'll be able to say it. But there's a couple of new to me at least, that I've subscribed to that I really like. Cool channels out there. There's Noble Records has a really cool channel. If you like my channel or Matt Sand's channel or Glass Orchid Aftermath or Memphis Vinyl Gym or any of that kind of stuff, Noble Records probably be right up your alley. Good kid. And then there's Tales from the Crate. Now he's been around for a while, but I just stumbled across his channel not recently. That dude has some cool stuff, and he is smart. He knows. If you like Zach, for example, Zeke the Final, still comes with the Vinyl Geek, Zach, and he does a lot of live stuff. Zach knows his stuff too, and talks a lot, knowledgeably. That's what the Tales from the Crate does too. So, a couple channels that I recommend out there. I mean, there's some other stuff I've been watching lately too. I'm sorry, folks. I just forget stuff. I'm getting old and I'm getting tired. I do like to drink coffee. Hey, Texas, what you're listening to in the background, Texas A&M is kicking the crap out of North Carolina. So, and here we are tonight. We're rooting for the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, right? Huh? 16-1. You guys don't care about basketball, do you? I do. My nephew plays basketball, high school basketball. So, and I played basketball a long time ago. It's a decade called the 1980s. All right, enough of that. I know. Back to the records. Where are we at? So, trying to figure out where I want to go next. Oh, let's do the VCLT next. Speaking of Glass Orchid Aftermath, or Ditch, as far as I'm concerned, best channel in the history of this stuff. He doesn't make he rarely makes videos now, but I'm telling you, he keeps his old stuff up. Watch him. You can learn so much. Mark, thank you for this stuff. He sent me some VCLT. Here we've got, this is a 3 LP set. It's the Rolling Stones. I think it was at Leeds. Yeah, Live in Leeds, 1982. This is pretty cool. I enjoyed this. I played this on Friday night, and I enjoyed the heck out of it. That's really good stuff. And then he also sent me this. I've got originals of their first two records. This is on Norton, recorded, I think at a house. It says it's at a Whaler's house party in Tacoma. So anybody that knows, this is the Savage Young Sonics, the Sonics. The Northwest kind of had its own garage sound. The Whalers, the Sonics, Paul Revere and the Raiders. I mean, garage music was pretty big here. It was kind of born out of that, a little bit of that 50s sound. And so if you're not familiar with the Sonics, I would start with introducing the Sonics. It's really good. But this is all recorded at a house party. And there's the label for you guys that like the labels. This is a very cool record. The Sonics or very punchy 3-chord, you know. Oh, there's another guy who's channeled. You know, I think Garner's going by high octane review now. High octane something Garner. Anyhow, seriously, there's another dude that knows this stuff. There's so many people out there that know their stuff. I don't. I'm pretty stupid. All right. Okay. All right. And the rest of this stuff is all stuff that I got at this other store in Olympia. I don't go there very often because the prices seem to be kind of on the higher end. Like, you know, and the condition can be kind of questionable. But I didn't spend much. I just bought a few things. This is on Ranwood Records, and I have another record from the Ranwood label. It's the Inner Dialogue. It's very weird folk. It's pretty cool. It's a guy and two girls. This lady's name is Debbie Aw. A-U, so like Aju, so I said it was Debbie Aw. And I played this earlier, and the album's called Clay. Obviously, it's a promo copy. It belonged to a radio station, KSPC. I don't know if that's one out of Olympia or somewhere else. I didn't research that. It's not one I'm currently familiar with. Anyhow, this is from 1972. This is a pretty darn good folk record. This is very good. So this was a good little purchase. And I also got. Anytime I find Neil Diamond on Bang Records, some of his uni stuff maybe, but you know, if you could, Neil Diamond on Bang, Neil Diamond's got some great. I mean, this looks like this is the Shiloh record, but it reads like a comp. I mean, look at this stuff: Shiloh, Kentucky Woman, Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon, Cherry Cherry, Solitary Man, I'm a Believer, which I believe he wrote for the Minkies, as my friend Alan would say. Red Red Wine. I mean, Neil Diamond. Now, I've also got this on a comp that's got Pet Sounds on one side and this on the other side, but this is 2020 Beach Boys. So I grabbed just, you know, because I wanted a solo copy of it, grabbed that. I believe this is the second album from Steve Miller Band, Sailor. Sailor, take me away to where I will. No, I know. It's wrong. I know! Jeez, Ma! It's off my back. Anyhow, second album from them. Blues, psych kind of stuff. I'm not a huge Steve Miller fan, but the price was right on this. Like I said, this was in this guy's cheap bin. And I found this in the cheap bin too, and I thought this would be worth a spin. This is called Smokestack Lightning, and the album is called Off the Wall. It's on Bell Records. Bell also had speaking of the Northwest, Murray Lee Rush and the Turnabouts, I believe, is on Bell Records. But I mean, this has got some people played on this, man. I'm looking at the back of this. Mike Deasy, you know, Mike Deasy is one from the Wrecking Crew, good guitar player. I believe he was the Psychedelic Friar. Who else is on this? Somebody else that I recognized was on here. A drummer. Oh, Hal Blaine. Hal Blaine drums on this, so I mean, anytime you can get psychedelic stuff done by and the jacket's terrible shit, but you can get psychedelic stuff with the Wrecking Crew, you've done well for yourself. Anyhow, boy, if you sat through this thing for 14 minutes, you got a lot of time on your hand. I got too much time on my hands, and it's ticking away with my sanity. Paladin. All right, I'm going to go back and watch college basketball. Later, guys.